Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Pino here with another war video. It's round 8. We are facing PALO. We are number 5 in bracket 1 of Masters, so that means we're 8th, and we're playing number 6 Costa. They're right behind us. So important war. We win this, we secure Masters for the season, and then I'll kind of touch on how I really look at this war. I'm gonna try to be humble but not too aggressive. But look. First up, I'm on path 6, section 1. Fighting Korg, I've been doing it if you've watched the last 2 war rounds, and then of course this season, even last season, I've had to take a Korg many times. This is a rank 4 SIG 200. I did rank 4 Havoc prior to this war round starting. Once I saw who we were fighting, I wanted to make sure I did everything I could possibly do to crush these guys. And so, yeah, I did it. And I had the resources, obviously. We had Cyber Week, and it paid off. So name of the game in here is it's spam SP1s. If you've seen me do this fight before, it's really no different. The node itself, I don't really have to worry about too much because I do energy damage and not physical. I also want to try to push him to SP2. Pretty classic. It's just easier to dex than the SP1. Hey, I did the first one, no issues. I'm probably a 95% dex his SP1 guy. Later on, I do get clipped by one, but hey, the fight's pretty much in control by then, and I only got to use Havoc for one more fight. You can see the bug that we talked about with Havoc. Looks like it's probably fixed, I'm assuming. Kind of hard for me to tell, but what I do know is it's, we pretty much just kind of slow play and nuking them down, keeping positive control, watching the distance, getting the SP2 favorable, play little turtle to get the SP2 and not prompt the AI for him to fire off any SP1s. But like I said, I do get clipped. And then also don't rely on parry to attack because he can purify and give you a 2-piece to the face, and you really don't want that. Look at that. Look like a rookie. But you see, boom, he's going down. Fight's in the bag. I'm moving on. It was a little late. Shout out to my boy Ray's. Ray is, dude's planning for 2 BGs, man. Money. It's not easy. I know how tough it is, but mad respect for him. And then, of course, it's the weekend. It was Saturday. I'm a big college football fan as well as an NFL fan. And, hey, man, he let me watch some games, and I had no issues. Shout out to Ash. He placed the wags on this mags to counter that conflictor so I could parry and get the rock stacks and then convert it to the fury stacks. If I don't have the wags, he's going to be gaining power. And, that would have been, not a fun time. Because Magneto is conduit, for those who may forget, is I am going to knock him down on the SP1s. And when you do that, he's going to start prompting all those energy debuffs. He ain't going to take any damage, but what it's going to do, he's going to regen. I don't care about any of that. Thing does not care at all. What we want to do, stay focused and convert the rock stacks to the furies. Once you get maxed to 60, then start punishing. I did not want to get cornered there, though I was prepared because it's happened many times before. And you see I had to bail on rock stacking to create space. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. You got to do what you got to do. Stay, give yourself the best chance to make sure you solo the fight. And if you got to use them multiple fights, you want to try to do it without taking any damage so that you're not healing a lot. And if you're not healing a lot, it makes the game a lot more enjoyable because you're not burning resources you may or may not have. All right, you can see we're at 46. And at this point, look, he triggered that protection. By the way, I had just SIG 200 him because of Cyber. Big difference from SIG 100, I noticed. I love it. I love it. Again, just kind of playing safe. All right, I'm trying to get this SP1 off. And I decided to go to SP2. And if you watched any my previous war, I noticed on one eye open, I think it was one eye open. It might have been another one. It might have been the one after that. I was facing the APOC. Once I got to the Rock Stacks, SP1 was doing damage. SP2s were doing a lot more, and I think that's why I opted to go into that SP2 at that point. Instead of throwing that SP1 and getting the last 20 stacks to get to 60. But hey, we're in control. We're moving on. I only had 4 fights this war. You know, what I love about Ray's is he does a really good job at spreading the wealth and, you know, making sure we don't take too many fights. There's a few guys sometimes they'll have to take, you know, a couple more than the others, but usually it's just matchups or experience and knowing what they can do along with the attack team they're bringing. So right before this, I hurried up and did a run through, I don't know, what was it? Not Cavalier, whatever. In order to unlock to get the 1,000 units you get for your 30 percenters. Because of the cyber, I welled out. I'm admitting it. And I wanted a 30% because I knew this was a rank 4 PALO. The same BG I was in X BG2 is the same BG we're facing. They place almost the same defense. And I've took this Cersei. We lost to them in X last season. I think it was like 12 to 8 or 5. I don't remember. But yeah, they piloted. So at this point, the round's pretty close. I want to say we had a 3-1 lead or 4-1 lead no, take that back. It was 5-3. And I wanted to crush these guys. I need a solo. I got a new rank 4 Havoc. I know how to play this. Start with PS1. Get to the SP3. We're not worried about the bug if it's faithful or not. I don't care. I want the glance buff of Cersei's to fall off, and I'm going to rip her with SP3s back to back. Now, when I started that fight, I was supposed to only hit and incinerate and not hitting poison. Man, I was so pumped for this fight, I just ignored that. And then when I caught it at the last minute, that's why I had some poison damage. But it didn't take much. All right, you saw it. Glance falls off. You know the name of the game if you watch any of my fights and my videos. Fire off the SP3. You know, boom, pretty much what? Almost 40% health taken off. Now, again, this is a rank 4 Cersei. And when I fought her last season in X, it took me like 5, I think, SP3s to take her down. If I'm not mistaken. All right, again, we're already at the SP3, just waiting. I made sure I dueled about 4 or 5 times to, you know, just check the block on making sure I was comfortable with the timing, the animations for the SP1 and SP2 to decks, and then counter. All right, so that's number 2. I didn't get as much power back as I thought I was with a SIG 2. With the 200%, and this being a rank 4. Plus, I'm running the 12% mutant damage on the SPs. So, as you can see, we're just trying to play patient. It's in poison. The glance is going to fall off. I do get passive power gain with him, and boom, I'm going to fire off this one. Now, this kind of irritated me because at 33% rank 4 Havoc. Come on, man. You couldn't give me the kill right there. So, don't want to play around. Get back to the SP3. I'm not even going to try to fire an SP2, and then she possibly just hold off enough and then regen a little bit more, then I got to build up to another bar. So, yeah, it took 4 SP3s to bring down this rank 4 SIG 200 Cersei. I'm at 71 hits. I have not gotten hit yet, and it's a solo. Oh, you gotta love Havoc's SP3, man. It's probably if not the hardest hitting one, it's definitely top 3. All right, I already got a cup of coffee. Again, another null. I am 2 of 3 for solos on the season facing this guy. I had ranked for him last round against DSVG, and man, I made a mistake. I learned from that mistake, and then I'm like, okay, you got to show up. Again, it's 5-3. We had more fights left than they did. It looked like they were playing possum to kind of put the pressure on us to see if we would drop. We only had one BG that cleared, and I was next. Now, I cannot tell you why he just ran out and didn't dex back when I dexed. But that's what happened. I keep composure. I get the resistance up, and I'm at 59% health. So I'm pretty pissed that my invulnerability boost is gone, and I took that combo to the face. Now, if anybody in our BG's got the experience fighting this guy on this node, it's me. I rank for him, and I wanted to deliver. All right, so big SP2 shocks did fall off. I don't have them higher sig than I would like to. I think I'm going to do it here this round. But nonetheless, SP2 did its thing. Still got quite a bit of incinerates. Notice that, I'm managing that resistance up, keeping it up. I'm not getting cornered. I am dexing the last hit of the SP2. And the fight's going in control. Again, I was at 59% when I started to do any damage. And you can see we just nuked him down. 2 SP2s is really all it takes if, you get your normal combos in between. But here it comes. Again, if he throws the heavy, throws the SP1, man, you just back up, hold that block, get that resistance up. And then, of course, you may or may not have time to counter him because you're going to wait to get that resistance up. That's fine. Play possum, let him hit into your block. He either throw a heavy, bait the heavy that way, or he'll throw the SP1 and you come back and counter him. Boom. There's the score. We were 1-1, 50-50 each. We dropped 1 death apiece for our BG and theirs. So we took care of business. We should have had the donut. We had an unfortunate guy place Wags, and then he went in and started the fight on accident with Wags. But hey, it is what it is. We're a team. We win as one and we lose as one. There's the score. Wrapped it up. Look, PALO's known for piloting. Can't stand them. So glad we got this W, even though they did it. They took our BG2 and 3 final bosses down with links up. One of them was a null, one was a Quicksilver. Quicksilver, understandable, can do it. But that null boss, no way. Unless somebody came in and did something. Like I said, glad we got the W. It is what it is. We moved on. We are back. We're still in the top 10. We are 3 in Masters Bracket 1, number 5 in the world. Deuces.